What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm a little sick right now, and I've been real busy on top of that, so I haven't really done like any research on this video. These are all off the top of my head. I haven't looked at anything. So we're freestyling this shit like the baby. So forgive me if you don't like any of these, and if you don't, you can suck my nuts. So yeah, let's get into it. Here are my picks for UFC 303. Alright, so I feel like it would be a little weird if I didn't even mention all the fucking changes on this card. Obviously, I'll get a little more into it, specifically with one fight. But, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen, like, anything like that. I'm sure there's been crazier scenarios that some sweaty nerds are gonna tell me about. But, this is, like, the most notable. Maybe because it had the attention of a McGregor card. I don't know. But, it just seemed like the circumstances were crazy. Now, I will say, the Roku show really like made all of this drama 10 times more interesting than what it normally would have been. Alright, now that we got my opening statement out of the way, let's get into the card. For the first fight, we got Ian Machado Gary versus Michael Venom Page. Now, this is real exciting. You know, a lot of people really hate Ian Gary for his personality and the whole wag thing. Honestly, I think it's unwarranted. He hasn't really like done anything bad. Like, yeah, he's a little annoying. Yeah, the wannabe McGregor, but I feel like he's low-key grown into his own. I kind of like his call-outs that he does on social media. I think they're good. Even with the wag thing, like that just draws good attention to him. And he seems like he's pretty good. I was real impressed with him when he got knocked down against that one dude. And he got up and he got the job done. I mean, that was pretty impressive. And you know what? The thing that like people need to respect about him is that he sets up to the challenge every single time. It doesn't matter who it is, from what I know. Like it seems like he's been calling out the toughest fights. MVP. He got Geoff Neal. I don't know if he said anything on Shavkat. I feel like he might have, but it probably wasn't serious. Notably, Colby Covington. Arguably, you could say that's a weak fight. Michael Page is really cool. I really like him. Gonna be completely honest with you, I needed to do research on him. I was always kind of familiar with him, and I know people are gonna call me casual, whatever. But he never really like. I don't know. I never really thought it was that exciting, or that's not fair to say. Interesting. I don't know what it was. I can't even lie to you. I can't even lie. That's how Ngannou was for me too. Like, I don't know what it was. They were doing exciting things, but I just wasn't, like, into it. I don't know. Maybe the story, I just didn't really care. I don't know. But MVP's obviously a really stylistic fighter. He stunned on Kevin Holland. He embarrassed him. Now the question is, will he be able to do something like that to Ian Gary? Because that's what people would love to see. People want to see Ian Gary not just lose. They want to see him get embarrassed. They want to see him get destroyed, whether that be morally or physically. But you know what? I just don't think MVP can do that to Ian Gary. I just don't. I think Ian's going to be a little too aggressive for MVP, and he's just going to catch MVP with his hands down, or when MVP's fucking around, maybe. Now, can MVP catch Ian Gary early? Yes, I do see that happening. But you know what? I really just think Ian Gary's going to get that TKO. I do. With that being said, I got Ian Gary by TKO, honestly, in the first round. Alright, up next, we got this crazy mix-up of a fight. Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. What? I missed a fight. What do you... Oh, it's fine. Trust me. Nobody's gonna watch that shit. Up next, we got Maida Bueno Silva versus Macy Choson. I just think Macy's gonna take it. She's just such a dominant striker. Honestly, it's really impressive what she can do. The way she could dance around the outside of the cage whenever she feels like it, and whenever the opponent starts to leverage the inside, or they start to look a little too good for the judges, boom, she'll hit him with a nasty switch left and jump to the inside, and then keep them on the outside. It's impressive, her ring control. I don't know if we've ever seen anything like it in the game. Myra, what we've seen from her is crazy grappling. Her flying guillotine that she does, that's insane. But I digress. I just think that she's not going to be able to get Macy with that guillotine. Macy's going to hit her with the flying knee, as she does have the highest recorded flying knee in UFC history. So I really think Macy's just going to elbow the shit out of her and probably cut her head open. I don't know though, Myra might beat the shit out of her because Myra's a legend in her own right. I mean, as we all know, she had the legendary fight on UFC 286 where she beat the living shit out of Amanda Nunes. Everyone remembers that shit. She embarrassed her, she grabbed her by her hair. With that being said, I got Macy via TKO, probably within the second round. Alright, up next we got this crazy mix-up of a fight, Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. I mean, I'm not sure if this is where it started. I don't think so. But this is where I really started to take notice of how crazy this card was, this fight specifically. So, as a lot of you know, but for those who don't, the fight started off as Jamal Hill and Khalil Rountree. That's awesome, dude. That's a knockout artist fight. Someone's gonna get knocked the fuck out, right? And people like Khalil, people hate Jamal. That's a classic, right? Like, this is set to be a really good fight. Of course, Khalil got injured, so it was Jamal Hill versus Carlos Ulberg, which Ulberg is like a knockout artist himself, if I'm not wrong. So that was like, okay, it's not as good, but, you know, in some ways, it's a little more exciting. It's like a fresher opponent, dare I say. Like, I don't know, but like a rookie, you know, it was interesting to me. Of course, Carlos fucking cracked under pressure and got scared of the Lionheart and pulled out for I don't know why. And Roman Dolidze stepped in, which I actually like Roman Dolidze. He's alright. But you know what? I'm going to stick with my original pick, Anthony Smith. You know, I think he's kind of crumpy. You know, get this guy off my telly now kind of guy. But, you know, he's alright. He's an alright. His performance against that rookie was really inspirational. So, I think a lot of you boomers could learn a lot from this guy, Anthony Smith. We got Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. You know, this one was pretty interesting because this one got thrown on the card, like, last second. And it was said Ortega was supposed to fight in the Sphere. So, obviously, what comes to everyone's mind, right? How much did they pay this guy to fight this early and not be ready for the Sphere? You know, I'm actually pretty split here because Ortega looked pretty good in his last fight. But, you know, I'm a UFC 300 for Dummies video. Go back and check that out. I picked Sadiq Youssef to KO Diego Lopez. And that did not happen, as we all know. Ortega called Lopez. It was at 3 in the morning, I believe. He called Lopez, saying they can't make weight. So it's at a catch weight at 155. And I'm talking out my ass because 155 is not a catch weight. So it's a lightweight fight, which is really, really interesting because Ortega was talking about bulking up, I remember. So I'm pretty excited to see how that goes. Honestly, I think that really turns the scales in Ortega's favor. But I don't know how you might see it. Did Ortega really try to cut, or did they just say, fuck it, they canceled it early because they knew he wasn't going to make it? If that's the case, then I think Ortega will take it. But if he really did, like, cut a lot, I think Lopez is going to get him. I got to go with Diego Lopez. And you know what? I got Diego Lopez via TKO. All right, we're on to the main event, the shebang, the big kahuna. Alex Chama Powhatan Barrera versus Jiri Prochazka. How did I say that? This is a really exciting fight. It is crazy. This fight is happening on very similar circumstances to last time. Short notice. I'm surprised more people aren't talking about that. That's something I'm upset about. I want to see these guys on a full camp. And it's like neither of them are talking about it either, which is fucking badass. I can see this. Someone's going to get knocked out. A lot of people think, including a lot of people that I've been talking to in real life, they've been telling me that they think Pereira is just going to do what he did last time, just sooner. Well, if that's the case, if you rewatch that fight, Prochazka hurt Pereira early on, and if he can make those slight adjustments, I think he can get that finish if he just rushes in and doesn't get hit. But to be fair, Pereira seems to get better every fight, and like it's getting scary almost. God forbid he goes out there and fucking judo flips this motherfucker or guillotines him or does some shit like that. Because the day that happens, that's the day John Jones retires. For a while, I thought Yuri was going to win, but honestly, with the way Yuri was talking about the black magic and stuff, I think that's really fucking awesome. Like, that was, for me, that's like top 5 UFC interactions, like, ever. He's using black magic, blah, 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 spirits. Let's have a clean fight. Emperor says everyone has spirits. We are not just flesh and blood. I have found mine. If he has not found his, that is on him. Like, what the fuck? That is some crazy shit. Like, what? Honestly, it's hard to go against history. I think Pereira is going to TKO Prohaska probably sooner. And you know what? I'm going to just throw shit at the wall. Let's see. I think he's going to do it by a flying knee. I know he hasn't whipped one of those out in a long while, but I think he's going to do it like that. So, guys, that is it. Thanks for watching the video. Nice, short, and sweet. Let me know what you think of my casual ass picks. I know these are pretty fucking bad. Or if they're not, let me know how much of a natural genius I am at the game and how I'm a revolutionary mind and you can even comprehend the things that go on in a bind. Yeah, that's all I got for you. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. I'll put that up right now. I'm basically going to be tweeting about the fight the whole time if I don't pass the fuck out in the middle of it, because I'm probably not going to sleep. I got a lot of shit to do tomorrow early. So, yeah, hopefully this gets more than 3 fucking views, because that'll suck if I stayed up late for nothing. Thanks for watching, guys. See you.